a long time since I've done a video like this. What's going on, everybody? My name is GuysP2024 and welcome to another discussion video. I know beforehand I want to acknowledge a few things. First, I am sorry that this is taking a long time for me to get all of my stuff done and out the way for the likeliness of me doing more videos. I want to apologize for the lack in videos, and I know the last video I uploaded was like months ago. I don't even know how long it's been. Let me look on my main channel, because it's been a long time. Yeah, the last video was in July 4th, 2025. So yeah, a good couple months since the last time I did a recording like this. But yeah, I'm sure by the time you see the title of this video, you will know that I am greatly disappointed by a particular YouTuber that I respect, but I have lost great interest in watching directly. So I would say for quite some time, I would say about 7 to probably 8 years. It's been a long time since because I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm not in my usual room. I recently moved a couple months ago, but that's for another video that I can explain later on. But anyway, I wanted to explain my deepest, I don't know how to really say this. I want to discuss my current frustration with a particular YouTuber that I find, in my eyes, the most shameful that's been going on for quite some time. So, if you guys haven't watched the guy's channel, his name is KidBehindACamera. And if you guys do know who he is, then that's good. You guys know who he is. But I personally have been watching a segment called the Angry Grandpa Movies, which is a segment contributing to the Angry Grandpa, who passed away in 2017. And the reason why I'm bringing him into the situation is because after Angry Grandpa's death on December 10th, 2017, I was starting to see a bit of a downward spiral from the original charismatic, kind-hearted, and loving videos that KidBehindACamera was making as a segment for vlogs and fun, adventurous little bits of videos that people would usually watch if they chose to watch what Michael was doing at his house, or if there was some part that needed some clarity between the Angry Grandpa and Michael. But as of recently, it's become a downward spiral, and I feel a little disappointed in Michael for going as far as he did with what he's been doing. Because ever since he's been doing YouTube since 2007, yes, you heard me correctly, 2007, because there was a video in 2007 when Michael actually did upload their first video. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself, so if you guys want a full walkthrough or full explanation, just sit back, grab some popcorn, grab a drink, because it's going to get a little chaotic. And KidBehindACamera, Michael Green, if you're watching this, I mean this out of respect, I mean this kind-heartedly, and I mean this as someone who truly understands what it's like to lose a father and how to cope with it properly. Please take all that I say to heart and take it with the best interest that you'll move forward in a brighter light from here on out. So, without further ado, let's begin with the very beginning. So, if you guys aren't aware, back in 2010, Michael Green started filming primarily videos about his father on the Angry Grandpa show. Now, back then, they were living in a place in South Carolina called Trailwood, which was an RV, was more of like a RV type of location. I don't know exactly what it was like because I've never been to South Carolina, but it's more of like a rundown trailer park that they lived in, and they were struggling, according to what Michael has stated on several videos when it came to certain problems that he's gone through. But they were trying to pull through as much as they could, and the videos went from thousands of views straight into the millions range because of the popularity with how it involved Angry Grandpa himself. Now, I have no quarrels on how they brought about the initial construct of building their reputation as YouTubers, because everyone has to start somewhere. I mean, for me, I've been doing YouTube for almost a decade, and here I am still pushing through to try and reach 10,000 subscribers on either one of my channels. And I'm still doing what I can. I'm still trying to enjoy what I do while maintaining what I have to do. But at the same time, I can't exactly just drop everything to always focus on just YouTube. So it is within reason for Michael to try and push through what he has to do to make a living. But back then, when they were living in Trailwood, they had so much to try and pull through with bills and trying to keep themselves fed and taking care of their family, to the point where they also involved relatives that are on Bridget's side of the family, which of course is within reason because they all were in a very, very close relationship at the time. And of course, a lot of people back then were a little concerned with how Michael and Bridget were together, which of course led to the instant popularity of believing that, well, I don't want to say it out of context, I don't want to say it to go against YouTube's guidelines, but it is to be truthful. Some people were really concerned about the way that Michael was a, you know, since Bridget was young and Michael was 20, it was a bit of an odd situation for them to be in, given the fact that they pretty much put themselves in a spotlight to be criticized on that factor for some time. Now, back then, they pretty much still followed through with it and focused on making videos around Angry Grandpa. And over time, that popularity started to skyrocket and bring about more and more content that eventually got them out of Trailwood and into a much better trailer park that actually is beneficial and spacious. To which, when I started seeing the videos, they were really happy. They were really prospering. They were pushing through, and they were able to make so many good memories as they did with Trailwood. Now, I can't recall the exact years, so I apologize, but it was during the time of, I believe, 2012, where things started to actually go better for Angry Grandpa. See, over time, when Angry Grandpa started to build his reputation, things started to actually increase in popularity, not just for Angry Grandpa, but also for Michael Green, because he also was building a reputation as well. And as that grew, so too did the popularity in knowing what content they had to put out. But due to the apocalypse that came out later on down the line, and after the next couple of years, things started to become a downward spiral to the point where Michael had to figure out alternate ways to build their views back up. See, initially it was all about how their content was built, because it was mostly just about Angry Grandpa flipping out about every little everyday situation, from bills to candy and to to random things that are just being left out, to practically every little thing that Michael Green could capture on camera. And of course, Bridget was also helping out as well to make things beneficial and helpful along the way, to which I can always see as a positive development. But as things started to become more and more, I want to say more and more focused, certain things started to change. See, in 2015 or 16 or so, Michael was able to buy his father a house, a full on house of his own. And it wasn't until then where things started to change in a much different way. You see, after so long of seeing Angry Grandpa just flip out over the smallest things things start to shift from everyday situations, the from flip outs. It shifted over to pranks like the Walking Dead prank, the Gaboon Viper prank, the the what else? The the a whole bunch of other pranks that happened long before Angry Grandpa even got a place of his own yet, thanks to Michael and all the views that we're obtaining. And even with the popularity rising, the one part that started to shift downward was when Michael chose to prank Angry Grandpa at a time of celebration when they were able to celebrate 1 million subscribers. Now, if you guys have seen a popular YouTuber, you would know that hitting 1 million subscribers is the biggest milestone for everyone. They would want to celebrate, they would want to have a party, they would want to do everything that they would want to do. And above all, they wanted to show their gratitude for the YouTube platform by honoring what they were given. And of course, that's what Michael and Angry Grandpa wanted to do. They wanted to celebrate it by getting tattoos. And of course, in an honor of respect and of course in honor of prosperity for the Angry Grandpa show hitting the million subscriber milestone, Michael got Angry Grandpa written on his forearm. Bridget got Princess tattooed straight on the top of her foot. And the only thing that really hit that changed was the factor of when Angry Grandpa had a different tattoo than what he expected. You see, when Angry Grandpa was hoping to get a motorcycle tattoo on his lower back, he was hoping that it would be what he expected. However, Michael decided to take a flip on it and chose to prank Angry Grandpa and get a biohazard tramp stamp that says "My ass stinks" on the bottom of on underneath the tramp stamp. Now, at first, in my opinion, I will say it was funny because, they were trying to have fun, but to kind of have it lash out, to have it become a big overreaction, it kind of became a little too far. I mean, when you want to get a tattoo to celebrate something, you would want to celebrate it to the fullest extent. No problems, no nothing. And I guess a lot of people saw it as disrespectful for Michael to kind of cheat his father out of getting the tattoo that he wanted, which, in my opinion, yes, it was a little cheating because of the fact that Angry Grandpa was happy for seeing that they hit the milestone of 1 million subscribers, and he really wanted to get a tattoo that he liked. And if I were in his position, I would have acted no differently. But at the same time, I can kind of see how Michael wanted to react or wanted to make it a bit of a funny confrontation by making it as if he wanted to just make it a little bit of a joke to try and make it funny for everyone's behalf. And honestly, I kind of do find I find it humorous, but I also find it a little rude. Like, if you're gonna celebrate something, celebrate it to the fullest extent. Don't make a giant. Don't try and throw in a joke like halfway in and be like, "Oh, I want to prank my dad and give him a tramp stamp that'll be funny." Like, that'll be the equivalent of me getting a tattoo on my chest with my grandfather, and out of nowhere, he just tattoos saying "World's Best Son" instead of the tattoo that I would want. Like, if I want to get a tattoo and it's something that I feel would better connect me to my relatives, or me celebrating something that I feel would be beneficial, then I would want to keep it what I want it to be. So when Angry Grandpa flipped out, it was within reason because he wanted to have a motorcycle tattoo on his lower back, but instead it was a tramp stamp that said "My ass stinks." So at that point, that's when things started to go downhill. See, over time, when things started to change, it didn't just change between Angry Grandpa and Michael, it also brought up issues with other individuals in his family, just like Charlie, which is Michael's brother, Doug, Tina, and even sometimes his sisters too. But primarily, it was always Charlie, Tina, and Doug. And even though they rarely mention them now, because Doug passed away sometime during the year 2020 or 2019, I can't recall exactly. But other than that, they also don't talk about Charlie, and they don't really talk to Tina that often. They still try to revolve around the ordeal of drama. And some of the things that were brought back up were the issues with Charlie and Doug, which within reason, it's within some concept, it is within reason for them to bring up that sort of drama because they're giving their criticisms on how they feel toward those individuals. And for some people to point out that they're in the wrong because they believe that their haters deserve to hate on them because of how they were treated, it's kind of hitting the nail on the head there. Because you see, when it came to Charlie, he did a lot of things, even when they were kids, that really shouldn't have happened. And one of the incidents that happened was even during the time when Angry Grandpa was still alive and had his own place, which was when Charlie gave his nephews drugs and alcohol, and he was pretty much kicked out of Angry Grandpa's house, which of course was later proven to be documented by the therapist who of course was looking over the kids and helping them through that issue. But another issue that really sparked issue was when Charlie hit Bridget after his incident having LSD, which truly brought more of a downfall because Michael pretty much allowed for him to stay in his pool house. Now, that was mainly brought up because of the fact of when Charlie was kicked out of Angry Grandpa's house. And at the same time, so many people were upset because of the fact that Michael was supposedly wasn't helping his brother. And I can understand why, because they're family, they should help each other out. But at the same time, when it comes to helping someone that did something this bad, it just doesn't seem reasonable to do. And I know that seems a little hypocritical because of the fact that if I was in Michael's position, I would be I would probably do this exact same thing, and then I would get hate for it. But you have to look at both sides of the situation. If you have someone that did this sort of thing to your kids or to your nephews, and you were torn between a choice of laying them in your life and helping them out, and just leaving them to handle their demons on their own, you can't really choose one or the other here. You have to choose the right side to ensure that you don't end up downhill. Now, of course, that was never the issue with Michael because he thought since he was family and given the fact of the backlash he was getting from his viewers, he felt the only way to settle the storm was to ensure that everyone was on his side by helping out Charlie and letting him stay in the pool house, which led to the incident where he was doing drugs and he was, of course, pretty much hurting himself literally. Now, I'm not saying this to pretty much down what Michael tried to do back then, but at the same time, some people can't criticize other people for what someone else does, and they try to make it seem as if they're not doing anything about it. Because Michael was pretty much doing something about it when he was talking with Charlie about it. And if he hadn't said anything, then yeah, Charlie would have gotten away with it, and then he would have still been kicked out regardless. But at the same time, since Michael did get involved in it, he pretty much did what he could and told Charlie that what he did was wrong and he shouldn't have done it to begin with. So for people to hate on Michael for not getting involved in a situation and helping Charlie, it pretty much made Michael seem like the bad guy. Now, I'm not trying to excuse what Charlie did back then, because that is his own problem, and I'll go into more detail in a future video. But that situation just didn't seem right for Michael, because he was already going through a lot when it came to trying to make content that didn't have anything to do with how he initially perceived or made Angry Grandpa more popular. And and I believe it is within. I think it's because he didn't want any drama to be spewed out, and he didn't want anything to just be thrown into the deep end as a result of it. But fast forward after the incident with Charlie hitting Bridget, things started to change a lot. And when Michael noticed that his father was getting sick, he pretty much limited the amount of views that AGP was being able to give on that channel, which is within reason. But during the time of when AGP was in the hospital after receiving cirrhosis of the liver, having squamous cell carcinoma, which is a skin cancer, and then having pneumonia, having kidney stones, having a hernia, it pretty much got to the point where the second that Michael had to get Angry Grandpa hospitalized, he was told, even when Angry Grandpa was in the wheelchair for his knee, he was told directly by Angry Grandpa to not take him off of YouTube, which I can understand purely because he wants his youngest to know everything. And he even explained it in the incident with Charlie when Michael was cutting ties with Charlie to begin with. Angry Grandpa said directly that he wants his youngest to know everything, the good, bad, ugly, everything. And I can understand that. You know, he wants to ensure that everyone's informed on what's going on in his life. And I can absolutely agree with that. Because, God forbid, if something happens to me, I want everyone to know about what's going on with me. Even if it's me being in the hospital, me going through surgery, or even me going through an emotional breakdown. Everyone deserves to know what's going on in my life, even if it's someone that I don't even know, because they're going to be just as concerned about me as anything else. So it's I suppose it's within reason for Angry Grandpa to pretty much give that request to Michael, stating that he wanted merchandise, not just as a way of giving his fans something to remember Angry Grandpa by, but as a way of honoring what he represented, as a way of keeping something close to Angry Grandpa, so that they have almost like a portion of Angry Grandpa with them. And I can purely understand why he would do it, but he didn't do it even when Angry Grandpa was around, because he waited so long, and he waited until Angry Grandpa was in the hospital. And in my eyes, that doesn't really seem right to do, because if you have merchandise that you want to try and apply or put out, you might as well just put it out directly. And I'm not saying it as like all bits of merchandise, because back in the day, before Michael got Angry Grandpa his own house, yes, they were able to give out bumper stickers and wristbands and everything like that. And that's all because that was all they were able to give them. And that's, you know, a good way of giving out merchandise like that. And I'm sure a lot of people still even have that sort of merchandise. But giving out merchandise in the form of like t-shirts and plushies, he should have gone through with it directly, because that would have been more of a better way to profit off from someone that is still around and is able to still give people a smiling face to begin with. But doing it the day that they're sick or that they're not feeling well, that's what makes it so wrong, because they're pretty much putting their own they're putting the main person on a spotlight, and they're trying to make it a profitable issue, which people like the internet anarchist, they they feel as if they're just profiting off of someone else's, they're profiting off of the other individual, in this case Michael profiting off of Angry Grandpa while he's sick, as a way of building more views and building more revenue, and not considering the fact that had they done it beforehand, long before they were on the pedestal of slowly losing themselves, or being slowly becoming, or slowly deteriorating from life itself, they could have brought it into a brighter light and changed what they could have done. Now, to be fair, yes, Angry Grandpa wanted merchandise because he wanted to give something back to his youngins because he cared. And for Michael to do it for Michael to do it long after, or long after the whole ordeal, all the way until Angry Grandpa was in a hospital, that seems like a wasted opportunity to pull. Because yeah, he was doing merchandise for like bumper stickers and wristbands, and yeah, that's a good starting point. But even then, you could have built up from there and chosen to reach out to companies and do like sweaters and t-shirts and posters and plushies. He could have done all of that out of, and still made the revenue that he wanted to make. And when it came to when Angry Grandpa passed away the day of, he had a little bit of what was left to give back to the viewers, which, it is heartwarming. I will say it is heartwarming to have something even on a terrible, terrible day of losing someone. But at the same time, they could have done it long beforehand to make things better, which is the biggest problem for the whole marketing and monetization and merchandise situation. But that's pretty much the whole ordeal that was happening when it came to Angry Grandpa, from they started YouTube all the way until Angry Grandpa passed away. But now it's the whole ordeal between after he passed away up until today. Because all the way up until today, numerous things have been brought up, from Charlie coming back and blaming everything on Michael, trying to threaten him and threatening to come after Michael, to Doug pretty much hoping that practically with Doug, he was hoping that if something happens, that he would be proving Michael and Bridget right for clickbaiting everything, and for pretty much assumptuously clickbaiting the ordeal of when Michael was revealing that he was going to be a father. And I feel that's something that shouldn't really be brought out. And in my opinion, that's just horrible. But I can't really reach out to Doug, since, as I said earlier, he did pass away a few years later when Angry Grandpa passed away. But other than that, the whole ordeal that really grinded my gears was the ordeal of when was the whole ordeal of when when the whole ordeal came up, when Michael started changing up his initial idea of earning revenue through clickbaiting. Now, if you guys aren't aware of clickbaiting, it's basically, how can I say this? Clickbaiting is like lying through the teeth of what the truth really is in some way, if that makes sense. But in my eyes, clickbaiting is where you is where you lie about something, but yet you cover it with some parts of the truth that make it seem like the whole thing is real. And in this case, Michael clickbaited a whole bunch of videos about angry grandpa and certain things happening with his sisters, and it really got to the point where Michael just didn't know what else to really make content about. And it's a little sad because he had so much to make content about. He could make content about about anything that involves like him and his family, his kids, or even just being around like his mother, his sisters, or anything else, or meeting more fans, even during the time of COVID. But it seems that Michael didn't seem interested in doing that. He just wanted to have the Angry Grandpa name be thrown everywhere. And I know some people are gonna say that it's a way of disrespecting Angry Grandpa. And I will say this: it is, but it isn't. The reason why I say that it is because you can't just throw someone's name around and expect good results from it, because that's just a way of just disrespecting someone. Like if I threw my father's name out on the internet and expected positive results from everyone, from every one of my viewers, then yeah, it's not gonna be that good of an ordeal, because all I'm doing is just throwing their name around and assuming that it's gonna bring me a lot of views. And so that's what Michael did. He threw his father's name around, like Angry Grandpa this, Angry Grandpa that, uh, Angry Grandpa AI this, or something like that. Or he made false ordeal with his sisters. Like every single bit of content that you can imagine nowadays with Michael, he practically makes up just to earn more views. Even the recent videos that he's made, when it came to breaking up with Bridget, cheating on Bridget, selling his house, or saying that something happened with his sisters. He continues to make these bits of content that just don't look right, and it's not right at all. Because if I did that sort of thing with my family, I would be slapped in the face by every one of my relatives for it, including my brothers. And so for Michael to be doing this sort of thing, it's just ridiculous. And I can understand that you have nothing else to really make content about, but at the same time, you can't just throw something around or throw something out on the internet and expect everything to be perfect. You can't expect that. So the best thing you can really do is just take things little by little, make content about something that's in a positive development, and make the best of it. Now, Michael, I'm not trying to discourage you on making content altogether. I still respect you as an individual. I still respect you as a YouTuber. And to be fair, you were one of the few individuals that have inspired for me to do YouTube to begin with. You were the one that inspired you, among many other YouTubers, have inspired me to do the content that I enjoy doing, from how-to videos to gameplays, unboxings and reviews, vlogs. Even on my second channel, when I started doing VR chat stories with my OC Sonic character, and even to the point where I started doing a trailer for Spider-Man, and I've grown so used to being inspired from all the bits of content that you've made that have had a positive impact on me. And I feel that with every second that I've watched your videos, or every single time I see your videos nowadays, I feel like that inspiration has just started going downhill. I feel like it's really just gone downhill because you're not the same person as I thought you were all those years ago. And I'm not trying to discourage what kind of content you're trying to make, because some of the content in the past has been reasonable. Like, you're trying to update about what happened on this day, what happened on that day. You're trying to update on what happened with your brother, what happened with Tina, what happened with Doug. And I can understand that you're trying to update people, but the content that you're making nowadays, you're making it as if it's okay to just make and then brush it off like it's nothing. Like the video you made when you got arrested for supposedly assaulting Bridget. Like, how can you literally brush something like that off? That is the biggest thing that you can't just brush off. Like, if I do that to my girlfriend, I would not be I would not be the person that I am. I would not be able to even forgive myself for doing that to someone that I am supposed to love and care for. And for you to just think that it's funny to laugh at, and for you to just sit back and brush off like it's just dust on your shirt or dust on a rock, like, you're not understanding the severity of the situation at hand. And you're thinking that it's just something that you shouldn't worry about happening again, because God forbid, knock on wood, God forbid, if something like this happens again, there's no third chance for you. And the last thing either of us want is for you to end up in jail again because you did something like this. Let alone you're a father of two kids, and you're making videos about how you're cheating on Bridget, or Bridget's cheating on you, or you're breaking up with Bridget, or you're selling your house. You're making content about how your life is just going downhill, and you're not caring enough to know that you're in the wrong for this. Like, you're ruining your own reputation by making these ridiculous videos about how you're cheating on Bridget, you're selling your house, or or that you and Bridget are getting a divorce. Like, you're clickbaiting all these stupid videos about how you're just you're making up lies just to get attention from people. Like, I hate to say it, Mike. I hate to say it, but if Aunt Grandpa was still alive, he would truly be disappointed in you. Like, he really would. And I'm not saying it to be hateful. I'm not trying to hate on you for what you've done. I'm not trying to throw the name of your father in your face to make you hate me. But what I am trying to do is I'm trying to open your eyes to what the reality of your situation really is, because you're blind to it and you're letting it pass over you like a river passing over stone. Like, you're not handling the situation, you're not bettering the situation at all. You're just taking the situation and throwing it aside just to do what you want. And I'm not trying to say you can't do what you want, because that's ultimately your decision. But at the same time, you're hurting yourself more than anything, because you're not giving yourself the respect to stop and think about what you're doing wrong. And it's sad. It really, really is sad. And I don't know if I can even go on to even continue watching your videos, man. Because, like, I've left comments on your videos saying, like, Michael shouldn't, like, you shouldn't be clickbaiting about this, or that you guys need help if you guys are really getting into a divorce. But every time I see those videos, now that I'm looking back on it, I just see you're just lying to your viewers because you don't care enough to really give them the truth. You don't care enough to really say, hey, my life's going okay, me and Bridget are fine, our kids are doing great, they're going to be starting school, we're going to be going out to do this, we're going to be going out to do that. It's like, you're not you're not making a positive life for yourself because all you're doing is throwing lies around. And I feel bad for you for that. Because I will be honest, I know how it feels to lose a father, but I've handled my loss in a different way, man. Like, I really have. And I don't. I will say this, I don't want to see you, like, have your channel be, permanently banned from YouTube because you've had an impact on so many people and you're not changing anything for the better. You're just making it worse. And I'm sorry to say this, man, but you're not making your life better. You're making it substantially worse, and you're letting the pain just simmer into this guilt and this negativity that you're consistently feeding to the point where you start destroying the lives of others around you. And do you really want your kids to be seeing you like that? Like, what will happen in another, like, 5 years or 10 years when your kids are older and they start seeing your old videos? Like, are you really going to live with yourself knowing that your kids are going to look at your videos and see, oh, I got into a divorce with Bridget, or, oh, I cheated on Bridget, or Bridget's cheating on me, or stuff like that. Like, are you really going to live with yourself knowing that your kids really see you as that person? Because chances are they're not going to really trust you around them if you have videos like that up. Like, I hate to say it, man, but you really need to wake up and see what's really going on. And I hate to say it, but there's no helping you unless you let the criticisms come in and help you. Like, stop running from your problems. Stop trying to run from your pain and just let people in to help you. Because I hate to say it, man, but you're losing the credibility that you've built on what you've made this channel become. And it's sad. And you're really losing the subscribers that have consistently been there for you for so long. And I hate to say it, but I'm one of those people that's really just losing interest in being part of the situation. I really am, man. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you guys, I don't want to say that I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I know you guys are going to have a lot to say about the situation at hand. And here's the thing, I am going to leave links to the channels that incorporate the issues at hand that explain it in more detail. Like, I will leave a link to the Internet Anarchist video in the description down below. I will also leave a clip of the issue with Charlie Green. I'll leave the whole video for Doug in the description down below, because I don't want to cover that all in this video right now. But I hope you guys did. I guess I'll have to say it regardless, but I hope you guys did enjoy watching the video. I'm sorry that this little discussion video went on for quite some time, but I just feel disappointed in Michael, because I really don't know what to really think. And honestly, I know a lot of people are going to be saying, like, oh, well, you don't know the full story behind Michael. You don't know what it's like to lose what he's lost. But in truth, I do know what it's like to lose someone. And for those who think that it's okay to do that, it's not really your place to really be saying that I don't know what it's like to lose someone, because I do know what it's like to lose someone, and I have lost someone before, and it's not good. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and Michael, I guess this is also a bit of a message for you in the end, for the end of this video. If you want to reach out to try and talk so that I can in some way help with your current issue, because I'm gonna be honest, you do have some problems that you need to work out, man. But if you do want to reach out to talk, then just leave a comment on the video letting me know that if you want to talk or not, or if you want to reach out, and I'll give you my Discord so that we can talk. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, because I will be getting back into the swing of doing my usual content, like how-to videos, gameplays, and stuff like that. I've been holding off on that for quite some time because I've been focusing on my second channel, but I will be going in depth on, or in detail, what's been going on with me. And I'll probably do it in the next video. But I hope you guys enjoyed. And Michael, I really hope you can reach out to me, man. Because, like I said, I know what it's like to lose someone. I know what it's like to try and hold on to that last bit of memory of them. And I hate to say it, but the way that you're doing it is not really good. It's not helping, it's not doing you any good. All it's doing is just dragging you down. So, I'll see you guys in the next one. And, well, yeah. Bye.